What if I told you that a car built in Bowling Green, Kentucky just made a Bugatti Chee-ron look nervous? Not a Ferrari, not a Lamborghini, not some boutique hypercar that costs as much as a private island. A Chevrolet, a Corvette, with a starting price that doesn't require you to sell your soul. Stick with me for the next few minutes, because what Chevrolet just did with the 2026 Corvette ZR1X is genuinely one of the most insane engineering stories in American automotive history. And I'm not hyping this up. The numbers speak for themselves. Let's set the scene. It's 2019. Chevrolet drops the C8 Corvette, mid-engine, gorgeous, and shockingly affordable compared to its Italian rivals. Car people lost their minds. And then, Chevy kept going. First came the Z06 with its naturally aspirated flat-plane crank, V8, screaming to 8,500 revolutions per minute. Then the E-Ray, the first Corvette with electrified all-wheel drive. Then the ZR1, which we'll get to in a second. But none of that prepared anyone for what came next. The ZR1X. This is the car that Chevrolet's senior vice president essentially admitted the entire mid-engine platform was secretly designed around from the very beginning. This wasn't an afterthought. This wasn't a limited edition cash grab. This was the endgame, the final boss, the car that was hiding in the shadows while every other Corvette was being built. So what exactly is the ZR1X? Think of it as two monsters fused into one body. The rear axle is powered by the LT7, a twin-turbocharged 5.5-liter flat-plane crank V8 that produces 1,064 horsepower and 828 pound-feet of torque. That engine alone makes it the most powerful production V8 ever built by an American automaker. It breathes through a new Edge Blue intake system, fires up to an 8,000 RPM redline, and pushes every single one of those horses through an 8-speed dual-clutch transmission that shifts faster than you can blink. But then, Chevrolet added something nobody was fully ready for. A front-mounted electric motor borrowed from the E-Ray platform, completely rebuilt for this application, adds another 186 horsepower and 145 pound-feet of torque to the front axle. Combined output, 1,250 horsepower. All-wheel drive, in a car that weighs under 4,000 pounds. Let that land for a second. 1,250 horsepower. From a production American car. Now I know what some of you are thinking. Horsepower numbers are marketing. What actually matters is what it does with that power. Here's what it does. 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 2 seconds. That's not a typo. Under 2 seconds. The quarter mile in under 9 seconds. Crossing the line at over 150 miles per hour. For context, a Bugatti Chee-ron, a car that costs around $3 million, does the quarter mile in roughly 9.5 seconds. The ZR1X, which starts significantly lower, is running a faster quarter mile time. This is the kind of stat that makes supercar owners uncomfortable at dinner. And it doesn't just go in a straight line. The ZR1X uses an advanced system called Powertrain Management Pro, which was specifically engineered for this car. It constantly monitors every driver input and vehicle parameter, using the front electric motor not just for power, but for precision torque vectoring. When you're pushing hard into a corner, the system is distributing power between the axles multiple times per second to keep you planted and pointed exactly where you want to go. Magnetic ride control adapts the suspension in as little as 10 to 15 milliseconds. The braking system was purpose-built for this car alone, with massive Alcon calipers, 10 pistons in front, 6 in the rear, designed to handle repeated hard stops without fading. And if you want to go full track mode, you can turn off traction and stability control. The system still keeps the front axle management and launch control active, giving you the perfect balance between driver control and mechanical protection. The aerodynamics tell the same story. The standard ZR1 Coupe, the non-X model, already generates over 1,200 pounds of downforce with the ZTK performance package and carbon fiber aero package installed. That's the high wing, ground effects, dive planes, and a carbon fiber underbody that turns the entire floor of the car into a wing. The ZR1X builds on that foundation with its own unique aerodynamic calibration, because with all-wheel drive and a completely different power delivery signature at the front axle, the balance of the car requires its own tuning. Even the design details are layered with meaning. The ZR1 reintroduced the split rear window, the first time a Corvette has had that design since 1963. It's not just nostalgic. Those windows have integrated vents and louvers that help manage heat from the engine sitting right behind the seats. Let's talk price, because this is where the story gets even more interesting. The standard 2026 Corvette ZR1 starts at around $182,000. For 1,064 horsepower, a split window design, and a legitimate top speed of 233 miles per hour, that is genuinely remarkable value in the hypercar space. The ZR1X is positioned above that, and pricing is still being fully detailed at dealerships. But consider what you're getting. A 1,250 horsepower all-wheel drive hybrid supercar with a sub-2-second 0 to 60 time, a quarter mile under 9 seconds, and a Chevrolet warranty backing it up. Compare that to the Lamborghini Revuelto, which also uses a hybrid all-wheel drive system, produces around 1,001 horsepower, and costs well over $500,000. Or the Ferrari SF90, another hybrid hypercar at around $500,000 and 986 horsepower. The ZR1X doesn't just compete with these cars, it beats their headline numbers at a fraction of the cost. Here's what I think is the real story underneath all the specifications. Chevrolet spent years building public trust with the C8 generation. The base Stingray taught everyday buyers that a mid-engine Corvette wasn't intimidating. The Z06 proved the platform could run with Italian naturally aspirated legends. The E-Ray showed that electrification could make a Corvette more capable, not just more complicated. And now the ZR1X is the answer to a question the entire industry has been dancing around for years. Can an American manufacturer truly build a car that competes at the absolute top of the performance world? The answer, with 1,250 combined horsepower, a quarter mile under 9 seconds, and all-wheel drive traction that keeps every one of those horses connected to the road, is an undeniable yes. The hypercar world has a new problem, and it's wearing a bow tie. If you're new here and you came for the cars that break the rules, you found the right channel. Hit subscribe, because we cover the machines that actually move the needle, not the ones that just look good in a press release. Drop in the comments. Do you think the ZR1X is the greatest performance value in automotive history right now? Or is there still something Europe or Asia is building that beats it? Let's argue about it. I read everything. And if you want to see exactly how the ZR1X stacks up against the Bugatti Chee-ron, the Lamborghini Revuelto, and the Ferrari SF90 in a head-to-head breakdown, that video is coming next. You do not want to miss those numbers side by side. See you there.